into the ring, the bell's about to chime. Turnbuckle Talk, we're here to shine. Flagship on the airwaves, leading the pack. Breaking news reviews, we've got your back. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat. From AEW to WWE, we cover it all from A to Z. Interviews, insights, and match reviews. If it's wrestling news, we've got the clues. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat.
WWE has officially filed a trademark for Birthright. Is this tied to the Bloodline, to Roman Reigns, a new WWE faction, or even a future premium live event? We're going to try to break down a little bit more into this WWE trademark filing and what it means for upcoming storylines, and how it could impact WrestleMania 42 and beyond. All of that just a little bit later. I am Carl Carafel. I am joined alongside Chris Best, and this is Turnbuckle Talk. Chris, thank you so much for being here with me tonight, for coming in, for being able to talk some professional wrestling. And I'm excited for our showstopper segment, this Birthright that we're talking about. I think that this is going to be absolutely fantastic of a discussion for us, but we've got some other news that we're going to talk about that has been making its way around, but maybe a few things that people haven't heard about as of yet.
Yeah, this is it was quite the news day, to be honest with you. Trying to filter through all the news, and there's still some potential news stories still due to come out a little later on tonight that we don't know about.
Right? I mean, there's always going to be news stories that are coming in, and making their rounds. And we here really like to be able to bring those to you. So stick with us as we're going to be doing a little bit of a discussion about some Bianca Belair news, some David Finlay news, a little bit of an update on Thunder Rosa, and Ronda Rousey back in the news again. Yeah. Let's first discuss a little bit about Bianca Belair. Now, we do know that Bianca Belair, unfortunately, has kind of been out for a while. We do believe that, that there is an injury that was originally believed to be a short-term injury. But as news is coming out now, we're hearing that she will probably miss WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's coming out that at last year's WrestleMania, in the match against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, she had her knuckle crushed, and they thought it was only going to be short term. They thought they could get her back in, I think it was 2 months at the time, they thought. Turns out it's a little bit more serious than that. She's been having some troubles moving her fingers just to get back into shape, and now she's scheduled to go under. She was scheduled to go under surgery yesterday, and now we don't know the timetable, but it does look likely that Mania is out of the picture, and that's terrible.
It definitely is terrible, especially for Bianca Belair, who herself has been gone for nearly a year. Like you said, this injury happened at WrestleMania 41. We're now making our way into WrestleMania 42. That is a full year of not being able to be there. And thankfully, it has not been a full year since we have heard from our friend, Joe. Thanks, Joe, for popping in. I did see you over in another show that I was watching as well with our friends RBV and Mr. Jargo. I want to give a shout out to them right now quickly. They have restarted the HTM podcast. Good for them. They were live today on YouTube. I'm so proud of them for everything that they have done. Good for them. But yeah, Joe, good to see you, my brother. Thank you so much for popping in. Yeah, it was very cool to see them back together. The chemistry between them has not faltered at all. Unfortunately, the falter comes to Bianca Belair in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What other info do you have on that?
I know that there was fear that she was dealing with some nerve issues in her finger, and that was what was causing her to not be able to move the finger.
Okay.
And I got to assume that it's like it says undergoing finger surgery, but it doesn't specify what finger surgery. So I have to assume it's got to be something to do with the nerves. And being someone who has nerve problems, that's a serious issue. I don't think it's going to lead to her like retiring or anything like that, because I do fully expect we are going to see her back in the ring, possibly by June. I'm going to assume now. I mean, look at JD McDonough, right? Recently just had her hand surgery as well.
Yeah.
Granted, it wasn't as serious. He was gone for about 6 weeks, returned last night. I'm looking forward to seeing Bianca back on our screens, and I do hope and pray, Bianca, that you do get better and healthy soon.
For sure. And given maybe some timeline, I am assuming that it's going to be SummerSlam, because how big of a return would that be for SummerSlam if you get Bianca Belair returning? Now, I know some people are not the biggest fans of Bianca Belair, but you can't deny what she has done in the business and inside of that ring. Okay. You cannot deny that. She has always been fantastic, and it's probably going to be more of a SummerSlam return, I would figure. So we're looking like August, and it'll just hopefully just be a surprise, and it's just going to pop everybody, and we're going to be so happy and thankful that we have Bianca Belair back, just as we're happy and thankful that every time Bobby Petito comes into the chat for us as well. Good to see you, brother.
I just had a thought pop into my mind with you. You mentioned Bianca returning at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Imagine if she returned against Becky Lynch as a sort of revenge for when Becky returned against her a couple years back.
Right. I mean, that definitely could be something, because we're probably going to be seeing a little bit of, the Becky and the AJ Lee storyline kind of hopefully maybe culminating at WrestleMania, right? And Becky Lynch is then going to be, without a championship, without, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So no idea what storyline wise could happen for her, but this could definitely be something very, very good for that. Do I want to see like a masked woman now coming out and getting involved in, Becky Lynch stuff? No, I do not, because we're already getting that with the male side of things right now. But there could be different, just certain little things, drop some Easter eggs that could come around and allow it for Bianca Belair to return at SummerSlam against Becky Lynch. Maybe she says, I have beaten absolutely everybody. I am the man. I am the greatest, according to Sports Illustrated, Sportskeeda, Sportscaster, Sports this, Sports that, Sports whatever. And then she just says, I'll take on whoever. And it's Bianca Belair.
Lay out an open challenge, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, that could work. That's one way to go about it. Bobby is as well agreeing that Bianca Belair would be great for a return at SummerSlam or for SummerSlam. That's kind of what I'm going with. I think that's a good way to do things for sure.
For sure.
We have got some speculatory news, I guess we could say. We did talk about Bianca Belair, and we're speculating when she could return. But this isn't necessarily for a return, but maybe where someone could be showing up over in the next little while. And if it is possible, be like Bobby. Give us a like on the videos, like us on YouTube, give us a like on the Facebook that's going on right now. And we are also over on Twitch at this time. This one came as maybe a little bit of a shock and a surprise to me. I didn't expect that this fourth generation wrestler to become a free agent, but a contract with New Japan Professional Wrestling has expired or is coming up to expire, and a two-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion and reigning New Japan Cup holder David Finlay will be done with the company. His last appearance came February 11th, losing to Callum Newman.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a very emotional departure from the ring, and it kind of has everybody speculating, will a contract be offered to him to renew, to come back? With the dissension and the essential death of the Bullet Club now, where does that kind of leave David Finlay? And where is somewhere that he will show up, especially if this contract is fully done? Where are we expecting to see David Finlay showing up next?
Yeah, and it's saying that his New Japan contract has officially expired. I'm not seeing any official reports from New Japan yet, but I've been championing this for the better part of 10 years. He's been a part of New Japan for 11 years. I want to see him come to the WWE myself. His father already works there, so it would be an easy fit for him.
Right.
Pun intended.
Yep.
He's a great talent. He's a great steal for the WWE, and let's face it, the WWE seems to have been raiding New Japan's roster as of late.
Very true. Yeah.
But David Finlay, I would 100% bring him into the WWE fold. I think he could very easily benefit there. He might also benefit over on the AEW side. I mean, he's got former Bullet Club members there in Switchblade,
right?
The Young Bucks. Yeah, I almost forgot it. Kenny Omega is over there as well, but I know that he's got good relations with a lot of guys over in the WWE as well. We talk former Bullet Club members. AJ Styles is still involved with WWE. Cody Rhodes is over there as well.
Yep.
I think I want to see him come to the WWE, and I'm not saying that to be biased or anything like that, because wherever he goes, it's a great steal for whichever company takes him.
Very, very true. I think how I'm seeing this right now is that David Finlay is well known in Japan, right? Not really necessarily well known in the North America side of things. So how amazing would it be? And this is what I would love to see and prefer. How amazing would it be for David to go either TNA or MLW? We just crowned a new MLW champion in Killer Cross. Could you imagine the work that could happen with Killer Cross and David Finlay?
Oh yeah. And I like how you mentioned MLW and TNA, because that would be a great way to ease them into the North American audience.
Right.
And then you can bring him to the bigger stages.
Exactly. I mean, listening to my friends Jargo and RBV within the last past hour, they were talking about, Jargo was saying how he believes that MLW is the third top company in the world right now. For this side of the world, I would say, you've got the WWE, and then you've got AEW, And then he said MLW and then TNA, right? So those two, let's take out WWE and let's take out AEW. Others as well are talking about MLW and TNA being those next ones in the top. And how easy of a transition could it be, especially for those that are watching TNA, because TNA is in the cahoots, I guess you could say, with the WWE, for that transition to happen, for people to get to know who David Finlay is before him coming to the WWE.
I mean, we talk about the easy transition. Look at Joe Hendry and how easy of a transition it was for him to go from TNA to WWE. People
Right?
already knew who he was when he came in.
Yeah,
And now he's
1,000%.
the-
He was
and-
established. He established himself within, the independents, and then elevated with TNA.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even factor that Hendry came from overseas and not a lot of people knew him.
Yeah. Right?
I didn't think of that because I've been watching him since his time overseas.
Right? And for those of us that are professional wrestling fans, it doesn't matter if it's in Germany, it doesn't matter if it's in Australia, if it's in Japan, if it's in anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is, anywhere in Europe, Asia, Africa. Pro wrestling is pro wrestling, and if it's good, we're gonna watch it.
Yep.
That's all there is to it. And so I can understand how those lines could definitely be blurred, right? Bobby is saying Jordan Grace too.
Yeah, she made a very easy transition from the TNA roster over to WWE as well.
Yeah,
And that's
sure.
also the same to say for Mara Shade, who wrestled in NXT. She made that easy transition over to TNA as well.
Yes. Yeah. So we got some comments that are going on in here. Zaoluz, okay, what I'm going to say right now says, add me up on Discord to join your live stream whenever you are streaming, and then leaves their Discord name. We are actively looking into getting a Turnbuckle Studios Discord network for all of you, for our fans, for those that want and hopefully will find us. We are actively working towards building and getting that started and going so that we can interact with more of you and allow more of you to know when we are streaming as well. So please be on the lookout for a new Turnbuckle Studios, or an inaugural Turnbuckle Studios Discord channel coming to you very, very soon. Something that can come to you really, really quickly as well is when you decide to check out our merch shop and get yourself some Turnbuckle Studios gear, powered by Redbubble, full secure online payments, and it comes to you real quick.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
And while some people have quick bumper music for their shows, we have quick commercials for ours. So thank you for sticking through that 25-second commercial. That's all it was, just a quick 25 seconds. And now we are back. We have got some good news. Okay, I'm going to say that this is good news because I am very happy to hear this. We talked about Bianca Belair and how she's missing WrestleMania because of injury. But it is always so nice when we can talk about those that are returning from injury as well. And one of those names is the incomparable Thunder Rosa. She's going to be making her way back into the ring in April from what I'm seeing, after an injury. Not with somewhere that you would expect, though. Most people, would have expected, oh, she's going to be, showing back up on AEW or Ring of Honor. Well, apparently she's not. Mr. Best, where is she showing up?
Yeah, she's going to be returning towards. I'm trying to scroll to where she had mentioned that. Riot Cabaret Pro Wrestling for the April 28th show. I'm so happy that she's coming back to the ring because out of all the Latina women that I've been watching a lot lately, because I do watch AAA every Saturday when I get the chance, I want Thunder Rosa more. I need to see more of her on the screen. That's how much I love this woman.
Right.
I'm so happy to see that she's coming back. And I wish that I knew what her injury was because they didn't disclose it. But so proud to see her getting back into that ring, and I'm hoping that she can kick some butt like we've known her to do. I 100% would love to see her back on. You know what? She was one of the reasons I tuned into AEW on a weekly basis, so I wouldn't mind if she returned there. Wouldn't mind if she came to the WWE and did some stuff with Stephanie Becker. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I could definitely see that. Yeah.
But Thunder Rosa, every time just looking at the screen right now, this picture, I'm looking at what she's doing. I'm excited to watch whatever she's going to do. And if I were to watch, if that were a video that we're looking at here,
right. So from what I am reading, it says that Thunder Rosa is going to be back. She's been out of action since July 2025 with an undisclosed injury. The former champion is scheduled for the Riot Cabaret Pro Wrestling April 28th. Thunder Rosa is the promotion's women's champion, and she's actually going to be facing the Riot Legacy champion, Alexis Falcon, in a title unification matchup. So this opens up a whole nother world as well, where we could see Alexis Falcon become that unified or undisputed women's champion, as they are calling it, to allow for Thunder Rosa to go back to the AEW or the Ring of Honor. She does say that she is still La Mera Mera and that she is still here, even though she was out with injury.
Yeah, wow. And I'd like to see if there is a way to watch this on YouTube, perhaps.
It is very possible. You know what? Check out riotcabaret.com. That's probably going to be the easiest way for you to find out if you can, or if there's going to be a way afterwards to be able to see that. But here nor there, Thunder Rosa is coming back, and I know that there's going to be one Bubba Duke who is excited about that as well, as I know that he has been a fan of Thunder Rosa for some time as well. So very much so looking forward to that, and thankful that we were able to see Thunder Rosa come through this, and that she is making a return to the ring. It's always a feel-good story when stuff like that happens, right?
Always feels good to see when a wrestler has been down and out for as long as they have been. It's always great to see them come back.
I guess we're getting another comeback of sorts as well coming up here very, very soon. And this one is a little bit outside the professional wrestling world, but still kind of within it. As a former WWE wrestler, I'm just going to say, I don't put too much emphasis on this person in the WWE, only because of words that she has had and said in the past about the business. But we are talking about Ronda Rousey, who is making her way back into an MMA ring You know, she's got a professional record of 12-2. And this is going to be her first fight in nearly a decade against another pioneer of women's MMA, Gina Carano. This is just exciting news. It will be on Netflix as well. It is just, I mean, it's wild to see that even after a decade, obviously she's been training, right? I mean, you're not going to just go back in there with no training at all. But even Carano hasn't fought since 2009.
Yeah. And as much as this fight is a money match for a lot of fans, the ship has sailed on wanting to see this fight. I'm going to be completely open and honest with you on that one.
Okay.
10 years ago, yeah, we would have wanted to see this fight. But I think honestly, the ship has sailed on wanting to see this one because, as you have stated, there's Ronda Rousey hasn't fought since 2016. Carano hasn't fought since 2009. Carano has built herself quite a successful acting career before she messed that up. We won't get into that. And Ronda Rousey, of course, she did. I guess you could say Ronda has had in ring, especially with the WWE. I mean, her last hurrah with the WWE was almost four years ago, I think.
Something I believe so. Yeah, about that.
But there's even in the world of MMA, there's a difference between getting in shape and getting in ring shape as well. There, so right. This fight could very well easily be a car crash in the making.
I mean, it could be. I'm really hoping not, though. I mean, we like we said, you know, Ronda Rousey, you know, left the MMA world 2011 to 2016. You know, she had a record-setting run, and she transitioned to the WWE. I got to give her the credit, right? Led to the women's division, you know, kind of to the first WrestleMania main event, right? So, I mean, okay, that's a really cool accomplishment as well. But Carano, you know, you said transitioning into acting, and I'm just going to throw them out there, acting with the Mandalorian and the Fast and Furious franchise as well.
Yeah.
So, for both of them, you really still need to be in that shape, right? You still need to keep yourself healthy.
Especially for the Fast and the Furious movies with all the intense action sequences. And the Mandalorian also has a lot of intense action sequences in the show as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do see where you're coming from in having to keep in shape with those as well.
Yeah. So the match will be a sanctioned match under the unified rules of MMA. It is going to be a featherweight bout. So each contestant will be at max 145 pounds. And it is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. And they're going to be using the 4-ounce gloves, which, okay, cool. Right? I mean, we're not just kind of throwing them back in there, allowing them to go in there, giving them 10 rounds, giving them, you know, no, it's just 5-minute rounds. I think will be more than enough.
5 is actually the maximum for MMA fights.
Right. But because of who they are, they could have said, oh, no, we're going to change the rules a little bit. We're not going to go under the unified rules. We're going to make it 10.
Yeah, 100%. They could have, because, like, I mean, let's face it. I will be the first to admit, I'm almost certain they changed the rules around for Jake Paul when he boxes.
Right. I'm pretty sure that they do as well. So, yeah, I find it real interesting that that they're not kind of going that route. They're just giving them the 5 rounds, the regulatory 5 rounds. I am definitely okay with that. I'm interested in this. I definitely am. You said that you're really not, that the ship has sailed on that for you, but I am definitely kind of interested in it. I am not a Ronda Rousey fan, so maybe my interest is to see Carano kind of beat the crap out of Ronda Rousey. But I've seen both of them lately, and they both look real good still.
To be fair, I too was not really a fan of Ronda even during her MMA time, and I'm like, at what point, like it came to a point for her where I was ordering the pay-per-views just to see her get her butt kicked. And
Right.
when the Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm fight came up, I was like, I doubted Holly Holm. Holly Holm, it was the one who ended up knocking her out and exposing Ronda's weakness, essentially, because she lost a bunch of fights afterwards.
Yeah.
It made me like think, okay, maybe I shouldn't doubt these fighters. I don't really know.
No, it's so true. It definitely is. It is very true that you should not doubt at any time any name that you are not aware of, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But I myself will be tuning in to watch this fight too. It might respark my old interest in MMA. So
right, it's very, very possible. So yeah, if you are able to check out the fight, it's going to be on Netflix. If you have Netflix, which if you're listening to this, you're in Canada, at least you're a professional wrestling fan, which means you have Netflix to watch the WWE. Yeah, you're going to have Netflix anyways. And there are a number of days that you can, well, watch different things here with Turnbuckle Studios. In fact, I think it's every day you can watch something from Turnbuckle Studios.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night, we have the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
That's right. Absolutely every day there is something for you to be able to watch when it comes to Turnbuckle Studios, whether you were into professional wrestling, video games, or just chatting. We have got something for everyone available every day. You hear the word lucrative quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And the word lucrative means I had to look it up, okay, because I wanted to make sure that I was getting correctness here, right? So I'm taking from the Cambridge Dictionary. Lucrative is an adjective. It says especially of a business, job, or activity producing a lot of money. So producing much money or making a large profit from the American Dictionary, and from the Business English, earning or producing a lot of money. So what we're talking about here right now is money. And we all know that WrestleMania equals money, right?
Oh, 100% it does.
But do we know what the most lucrative pro wrestling event in history now has been?
Yeah, according to Brandon Thurston, it's last year's WrestleMania. $66,074,558 to be exact, in just ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, yeah. we always report on how expensive the tickets are. And
I think that shows it.
Yeah.
Right? That shows it right there.
Yeah, because that's the question I bring in is like this, because this isn't obvious. This is a number that obviously isn't adjusted for inflation or anything of that nature. That's the exact number, and that's just in ticket sales. They're not even talking about like what they would have made out of merchandise and everything like that. I'm just blown away by that number, and it honestly does not surprise me because of the cost of the tickets. We reported on the cost of the tickets last year,
Yes.
and that's interesting considering considering what's going on with WrestleMania tickets this year and how they're struggling to sell the tickets.
Yeah.
And how recently they put out a 25% discount, I think, on tickets. I think it was 25%.
I think so.
saw.
We're definitely gonna be taking a deeper dive into that and bringing more of that to you for sure in future episodes. Yeah.
But yeah, this is prior to that, the highest gate was WrestleMania 40, so they beat themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so you mentioned WrestleMania 40. Okay, the average ticket price for WrestleMania 40 was about $340.
Yeah,
The average price for WrestleMania 39 was about $170. That's the
Yeah.
average price, right? And you got to remember on both of those shows, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns battled for the undisputed WWE Championship in the night 2 main events.
yeah, and I think the reason why the ticket sales were so high for Vegas was because, and I'm looking at the man in the red behind Cody and Roman there in John Cena. It was John Cena's last WrestleMania, so of course ticket sales were going to skyrocket to be a part of that historic moment, to be there to witness John Cena's last main event.
Right.
I mean, if I had the money and if you had the money, Carl, I'm pretty sure we would go.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, okay, so I want to put this into perspective for you. You're saying that John Cena is the reason why the ticket price is spiked, but we're going from about $340 ticket price to last year's WrestleMania, where the average ticket price was about $635.
Oh no! I was just saying that that's the revenue that they pulled in from the tickets. The ticket sales alone could be from John Cena, not the ticket price spike.
Oh, okay.
I have
Okay.
my suspicions on where the price spike comes from, and I think that's cutting out the live shows personally. That
Possibly,
made those
yeah.
spikes,
Because
but
they're not gaining that revenue from the live shows now.
right.
Which, okay, so I kind of understand. Don't work them so hard. And then you're gonna, pay a little bit more to see them, at full strength, full health,
Yeah,
as opposed to, they just worked the last, 3 weeks nonstop, and now they're having to do a WrestleMania, right? So I kind of get that. I do. But during non-WrestleMania season, it should still be able to have live events. Right. I mean, it's allowing for, I'm stuttering there and I don't know why. It's allowing for smaller places, smaller communities, smaller areas to be able to see the WWE live instead of having to spend an average of $635 a ticket
yeah,
for a family of 4 or 5. Well, for a family of 4 or 5 going to just a live event close to them, you're going to be looking at ticket price of $50 a person for a premium seat, which is a lot more affordable than $635 per person, right?
yeah. I'll tell you this right now. Like when I saw this article, I immediately thought back to the last tickets I bought for a pay-per-view. And granted, it wasn't a WrestleMania or anything like that. It was Unforgiven.
Mhm.
I paid $200 per ticket. And that was right in the seats that nowadays you're paying almost that 6 to 10 grand price now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
But
Yeah.
no, I do get where this is coming from. I'm actually interested to see what the full sum is. Like if they can even put out a report on the merchandise that they made. I'm very intrigued to see that too.
And I think I kind of am as well. I think it's definitely going to be interesting if those numbers come out to see how much was made in total for the
Mhm.
entire event of WrestleMania 41. So,
And that's just it. That's just WrestleMania. That's not everything else that the WWE did in Vegas. That's not SmackDown,
nope,
nor is it Raw.
nope, not at
So
all. Not at all. That's
I'll just
and
say,
that's wild.
I'll just say this: the WWE made bank, and to be fair, I don't blame them for going back to Vegas now. If the money's there, why not? I know that there's
Right.
a lot of people that are ticked off because this year it was supposed to be in New Orleans, but
Right. And I mean, as we had last week, we had somebody coming in talking to us about that as well. And it's are you going to achieve the same, or are you going to achieve better? Well, you may achieve better because the ticket prices have once again they went up, right?
Mhm.
But now you're having to offer 25% off because people are saying it was just there. And you took all of our money last year, and we don't have that kind of money now. So it's further away. I'm
Mhm.
not going. All these different factors are coming into play that I think is now making it so that there is having to be something that happens where tickets are going to be sold and maybe help out a little bit.
I like how you use the term help out because when something like WrestleMania comes in, because it's just as big as the Super Bowl, I think now, as far as
Mhm.
ticket sales go, it brings in the one thing that I think a lot of these cities need to look at. It brings in tourist dollars.
Right.
So it's not just beneficial for the WWE, it's beneficial for all the businesses that are within that city, that are within that arena's uh, area, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
definitely it is. And if you want to help us or allow us to help you, well, we have a way for you to do that as well. If you have an interest in professional wrestling, video games, entertainment, graphic designs, or anything of the sort, we would love to be partnered up with you. And here's how you can do it.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And once again, thank you for sticking around for just the 30 seconds that it was for this commercial break. We don't have bumper music. We got commercials. That's just how we roll. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We have now come to the time where we have our show stopper segment of the week. And this one here could definitely be a show stopper. The WWE has filed a trademark, and that trademark is simply Birthright. It's very interesting considering the number of second generation, third generation, fourth generation talent that is out there, that is in NXT, that's in the WWE, or that is available in just the independent scene as well. We don't really have a full confirmation on exactly what this is for, but there are speculations that it's going to be surrounding a new stable in NXT being forefronted by Lexis King. Now, for those that may not know who Lexis King is, I mean, Lexus King is a generational superstar himself, and his dad, Flying Brian Pillman. Okay, so
I gotta flash up the four fingers for
right,
Brian.
right, like, and so who better to kind of head a faction of Birthright than Alexis King?
You know what? And it just popped into my brain that it makes a lot of sense for Alexis to do this because his dad made a name off of being a part of stables.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, stables and tag teams. Brian Pillman was part of the Hollywood Blondes. Then he went and formed a tag team with Tom Zank. Then joined the Horsemen. Then came to the WWF and was a part of the Hart Foundation. I kind of like this name though, Birthright, because not only is it Lexus King, but Ariana Grace and Stax, who are also multi-generational talent as well. They're trying to get Charlie Dempsey into the stable and Uriah Connors now. I kind of like the idea of Birthright, but I'm wondering if at the same time if it's going to be anything kind of like what Legacy was. Legacy was a group of multi-generational talent: Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. Manu was also a part of it, but he was there for like a cup of coffee, basically.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that Randy Orton was more of the mentor to Cody and Ted. This is actually a group of young guys young people trying to make it up in the business.
And I'm happy that you said young people, because we have Miss NXT on that screen as well. And we're looking at Ariana Grace. And Ariana Grace is generational as well, with her father being none other than Santino Marella, former guest on Turnbuckle Talk. We had the privilege to interview Santino Marella in the beginning days. And there's no reason why we can't include females in this, as if this is going to be a faction, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. No reason why we couldn't include somebody like an Ariana Grace.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing I actually enjoy about stables these days, and I'm going all the way back as far as DX and the later part of the later part of the Horsemen. I enjoy the women aspect in these stables. So China in DX, she was the muscle on top of being the woman. And speaking of woman, she was the muscle and the woman for the four horsemen.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more of this. I'm excited that Lexus King they're finally doing something with him, because when I watched him in AEW, I saw a lot of Brian Pillman in him there, and I kind of wanted him to shed Brian Pillman, because that's the one thing I always say about these next generation guys. I want them to shed what their dad did and just come out on their own.
Right. So now I'm just going to go through a couple of other names that are here that could find themselves within, this faction as well. And one of them, maybe not from the greatest of family trees, maybe not one of the more well-known, but Bull Buchanan has a son in the WWE and NXT. And while, kayfabe storyline right now, being fired from the company, we'll have to kind of see what happens with that. But we're talking about Brooks Jensen, is the child of Bull Buchanan. You mentioned another name, Uriah Connors. Now, Uriah Connors, as we talked about one Finlay earlier, we talk about another, as Uriah Connors is the youngest child of Fit Finlay. Lexus King, we have discussed. Ariana Grace, we have discussed. But there is a number of different stars that are within the WWE. Charlie Dempsey, another one.
That's William Regal's boy.
William Regal's kid. Like, there's no reason why a faction like this wouldn't work within NXT. Those are just names from NXT. On the WWE side of things, you've got, like your Randy Ortons, your Natalias, you've got, all of these different names that are out there. Cody Rhodes. Sure.
Everybody in the bloodline.
Right. Everybody in the bloodline. And then one who is out right now, but even Braun Breaker. So it's not as though this is an unfamiliar territory when it comes to professional wrestling, because, well, it's always been there. There have always been second, third, fourth generation stars that are going to be available. And now to capitalize on that within NXT, I think is a definite win for the company.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad that we brought up that Uriah Connors is one of Finlay's kids. Maybe if you bring David Finlay in, this is where you put him.
It's a possibility, but then, we're going to have to have him in NXT and not straight to Raw or SmackDown, right?
And that would also bring back our discussion with what we said about David Finlay, about how you bring him in and get him acclimated to the North American audience. NXT is actually a very viable option for that.
Right.
But this idea that it's not confirmed, it's still speculation.
Yes.
But I do like that name, Birthright, for a stable. I do like that name.
And so it's speculation as to what this is going to be, but we can say that it is not speculation. It has been put out there that the WWE has filed to trademark the name Birthright.
Yes.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we cover that and ensure that that is put out there for us as well.
And I mean, for all we know, with how fast that they've been using these trademarks, I mean, look at Royce Keys. Like I said, I was telling Carl this off screen. I'm pretty sure that Powerhouse Hobbs was still employed by AEW when they filed that trademark. Right. And then he comes back about, I think it was like 3 weeks after we reported on that. And he shows up as Royce Keys at the Royal Rumble. So for all we know, tonight on NXT, we're not watching it right now, but tonight on NXT, they could use that name.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. I do want to say that we do have, so Lexis King has already recruited Ariana Grace and her fiance Stax into a stable, right? They can make an effort to recruit others as well, which means that over time they could, as they kind of have, they've been making their way into TNA to then maybe try to recruit a David Finlay over as well, right? So just another little way that they could do things and capitalize on that partnership between the WWE or between NXT and TNA. That could be another way for them to do that too.
A cross-promotional stable. I like that.
Right? I mean, who better to know how to do such a thing than somebody like Cody Rhodes, who is already there, right? For then David Finlay, both of them, Finn Balor, right? Okay, both of them, AJ Styles, who just retired, right? All part of the Bullet Club, which was a multi-promotional faction.
Right, because they went over, they did the Bullet Club stuff in AEW. We got the Bullet Club stuff in WWE. Pretty sure they did it in TNA when Gallows and Anderson were there for a cup of coffee.
Yep. Definitely. The interpromotional stuff is happening all over the place. Bobby is mentioning that Giselle Shaw is going to CMLL in Mexico as the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling champion as well. So absolutely fantastic in that respect. I absolutely love it. We're definitely going to be watching to see what comes of Birthright for sure. I do want to, before we leave here tonight, say thank you to each and every one of you for coming out each and every week, each and every day, and showing us the love that you do. I have just received a notification that on YouTube, we have now reached 55,000 views. So that is absolutely fantastic. We use a product called vidIQ that tracks all of these things for us. And just so that everybody can see, you have reached 55,000 views for Turnbuckle Studios. So thank you, each and every one of you. And thank you, Bobby, for being one of those constants that's always here with us, leaving the comments, interacting, and saying congratulations to us. Mr. Best, thank you so much for being here with me, for allowing the time for us to go through and talk some professional wrestling.
Well, it's my pleasure. I love doing this.
I know you do, but I have to make sure that I'm saying thank you because, well, if I don't, then you're not going to know, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And thank you to each and every one of you once again for being here with us. This has been your edition of Turnbuckle Talk. Remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.
Flagship show setting the tone. In the world of wrestling we stand alone. With news and reviews we lead the way. Turnbuckle Talk every day. Turnbuckle Talk every day.